Regis, 3 games in 6 days. It's a fairly mad schedule. What's your thoughts on the way this sort of week has panned out or pans out? How difficult is it to manage that?
I think it's a good opportunity for us to play that kind of games, especially with 3 days between every games. It's not for me at the minute a physical issue. It's the way we can manage the game with the intelligence perspective as a team. So against Derby, for example, I think it was good until the second goal, and then after it was a little bit different. But we could have controlled the game with the ball, but we decided to control the game without the ball. It's an idea, and we didn't concede a goal, so it was a good option. And for the next game, it's the same idea. So because we know that we won't have 100% of our physical resources. Okay, so manage with your head and with the whole group as well.
Was it important for you to score that second goal, so it gave you a bit of leeway later in the game to be able to bring off players with a mind to tomorrow night's game?
It's very important to when you have a good momentum during a game to score, and it's like a validation of your domination. And I think it was the case. So the players performed well, and it gave us the possibility to manage the end of the game with less energy, I think. And for the next game, it will be a new story, a new context, a new opponent, a new momentum. So we'll see.
Last season, the 2 games against Leeds, Mike Dodds, as it happens, was in charge of both of them, and masterminded 2 very good results. And the 0-0 at Ellen Road, ironically, it's the same referee tomorrow night from that game. But have you been picking Mike's brains about the way Leeds set up and the way that he dealt with the 2 games last season?
Yes, of course, because here the staff is working very hard. They are very involved in every elements of the management, the training session, the game plan, and so on. So their experiences last season and before are very useful for me, for the players, for the team, for the whole project. So everyone is involved and can bring his own experience for the whole project.
It will probably be a very different game to the game on Tuesday night. Derby hadn't won away this season, unlike Leeds, who conceded only their first goal away at Norwich on Tuesday night. So we can expect a very tight game, a very close game.
We don't know before. We know that this is a strong team, sized for the promotion, I think, and with many strength in possession, out of possession, in counter-attacks, well managed, good goalkeeper, very good goalkeeper.
You know him,
yes, yeah, very good goalkeeper. So it will be a good challenge for us, another good challenge, because we need to respect every team. The team who are in the bottom, the team who are in the top of the leagues, because every game is difficult to win, and that game will be different, and we'll need to manage it with intelligence as well, because we don't want to be naive, but we want to play with our identity. So this is a new experience, very useful to grow, to understand our development. I think now we have a better culture, but it's a new challenge with new problems to solve, for sure.
And you often speak, you know, about mentality of players. You wanted the stadium to become a fortress, somewhere that's difficult for teams to play.
Yeah.
You're 4 games into trying to achieve that, but that in itself gains its own momentum, doesn't it? The stadium does seem to be becoming a place that teams are finding it difficult to play.
Yes, I agree, when it's possible. And I think it's the case here at Sunderland to have this energy behind us. And because of the way we want to play, I think we can create that link with the crowd, with the fans. and sometimes with high pressure, with tackle, with different positive actions, especially in the out of possession, but in possession as well. We can feel this energy behind us, and if we feel it, I think the opponent feel it as well. So the momentum sometimes could be created or reinforced by this energy. Yeah.
And in terms of personnel, I know Paveda came off the other night, so presumably he's not. You said 2 weeks before he's available again. How are you looking other than that?
Specifically for Jan, so the diagnosis is not set really at the moment, but I think it will be long, maybe 4 weeks, 6 weeks, we'll see. It's a shame because he's very involved in his progression, in his way of training. So the championship is still long. I will have 38 games. So Jan will be helpful for the team, but he'll need time to recover.
Dan Ballard's been named in the Northern Ireland squad, yet he's not due back, is he, till after the international break? So what's the situation with him?
The situation is grey at the minute. We are just in the middle, so he could be involved, but I think he needs to recover properly, because this issue with his ankle could be dangerous if we don't pay attention. So sometimes you can have, I don't know the strap. Yeah. So you can play with a strong strap, but you know that your ankle will be damaged after that. So we are in that situation.
So are you minded not to play him just to avoid that risk?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Hi. The team is still establishing its identity under your management, yet they're already top of the championship. How much potential are you seeing with where you could be come the end of the season?
I don't know. It's still difficult to assess the pathway of a team, a pathway of players, but because this team is young, this team has a good behavior. They want to learn from positive experiences, but from negative experiences as well. We reacted well after our 2 defeats, for example. So I think the potential is here, but we still have strong opponents. So what we can control is our behavior, our way of improving our game, on our strength, on our weaknesses as well. And then the scenario of the league is unpredictable, so we can't say that we'll be at that position at the end of the league. But if we are involved like we are at the moment, I'm very confident about the way we can play. And for the derby games, for example, it was very interesting for an hour, and then we lost the control of the game. So we knew that that part of our game is still can still be improved. It's an example. So we'll see.
In this game against Leeds, do you think that's going to be the most difficult game so far for you?
I don't know, because the scenario are still unpredictable. This is for sure a strong team, a very strong team with the ability to manage different phases very well, especially in counter-attack, for example. When they recover the ball, they are so quick to create chances. So when we have the ball, I think this phase, just after the loss, could be one of the main point of the key point of that game. But still the same idea. A game can go in a way or another way with just one decision. Sometimes it's our decision, the opponent decision, a referee decision. So many things could happen.
And just finally from me, your team, they're getting results without clearly not playing to their best. Do you get some satisfaction from that? They're always finding ways to win?
Yes, I think our project the first idea is to win game. So sometimes you can have in your background as a coach an idea, we can win like that or we can win like that, but the reality is the player decision, and with their own background, their own decision on the pitch, at the minute they found many ways to win the games, and if I can help them to find other solution, it's my job. But this is their main responsibility on the pitch, and they did well till now.
You speak of the process and the project, so in some ways you're like the teacher of the squad. Are they good pupils? Do they want to learn?
Yes, it's not a teacher with a vertical perspective. I'm just near them to help them to understand the game, to help them to create link and a culture, to share ideas about the understanding of the different situations and the way they can find opportunities or they can find solutions to solve many problems. So it's a long process because this game is continuous with many different phases, with many different opponents and style of play. So if you can solve a problem against Derby, for example, this will be useful for Derby, but you'll need to find other solutions against Leeds. So after now 8 games, I think we faced with different style of play. For example, at Watford it was different, and maybe we'll find against Leeds some situation we had against Watford in counter-attacks especially. So we'll see if we learned from that experience.
And it is only 8 games, but 8 games is still quite a lot. Do you expect, or are you already seeing teams starting to try and find solutions to what you're doing?
The opponent's team or our team?
The opponents looking at what you're doing, what you've done at the start of the season, thinking, well, how can we stop Sunderland?
They're very creative, for sure, because the more you have video footages to understand the opponent, the more you can find options, and the problem after is to implement this option in your game. So it's not an easy part of the game for sure, but every opponent has his strength. So it's a part of the analysis is to find the weaknesses of the opponent, but I think the other part is to grow your strength as well. So for us, my main focus is on our strength, and if we can find some different elements to improve, we focus on them, but our strength is the best way to perform.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bridges, like yourselves, Leeds are very strong in wide areas. That's sort of been a hallmark of their game for the past couple of years, I'd say. How vital will the role of your wingers and your full-backs be, both in defence and transition and attack this game?
In counter-attacks, we can define 2 different moments. The first moment is when we have the ball. So how we attack in possession. If we are very open, for example, for sure when we will lose the ball, we will still be open, and it's difficult to reduce the spaces. So the first element we are working on is our balance in possession. So before losing the ball. So every players are involved in that situation, because the ball could be on the left side and then the right side is involved, not being too far from the location of the ball. And if the ball is on the other side, it's the same idea. So I can say that the team is moving with the ball always. So the shape is always close to the ball location. And then after the loss, we need to react, and you can be very close to the ball. So at that time, the role is to chase, maybe with the idea to avoid a direct pass. And then for the players who are less close to the ball, you'll have another decision to to make. Maybe it's a defensive sprint to reform the shape. Maybe it's the way of reducing the options for the opponent and to slow down the counter-attack. So it's a very important phase of the football, and it's not easy to implement in the team because it's complex with elements before the loss and elements after when we need to react. So we'll see if we are able to do that maybe for the 10 first minute, but for the whole game, because you can be very focused maybe during the first half, but the quality is to be efficient during the whole game.
The fact that Wilson Isidore's come in and has shown just how good he can be shows you've got real strength and depth at the moment. So are your training sessions really quite competitive as players are trying to fight their way into the team?
Can you repeat, please?
Are your training sessions really quite competitive at the moment as players are trying to fight their place?
Yeah. The core of the group is very interesting because the players are very close to them. At the moment, because the team is performing very well, all the players knows that they need to wait for their opportunity. But when this opportunity will arrive, and it will arrive for sure, because the championship is so long, the games are tough, and the physicality is impressive, they need to be ready. So the training sessions are very interesting because we can feel this intensity and this intent in the player's mind. And they know that when an option is open, I trust them. It was the case for Tommy, for example. It was the case for Romain after Jack Clark and so on. So at the minute, we can feel this whole involvement in the team, and it's very useful for performance.
Just finally, are you starting to feel a real connection with this club as momentum is building, especially in the home games?
Yes, it's the case. Even against Derby, it was a midweek game, and the stadium was full, and the energy of the crowd was still here. So the connection is still, as I explained during the pre-season, we still need to deserve this connection. So the way we are playing, the way we are working, the way we are facing with different challenges after a defeat, for example, we are still here. We are still with this mindset to win the games. Sometimes we can lose, but the game after, we are still here with the same idea to produce our best football.
Thank you.